YouTube! So this is just going to be a quick product review on the Aqueon water changer. So this mound of tubing is the Aqueon water changer. So there you go, right here. This is the Aqueon water changer. And as the name might suggest, it is used to change your water. So this is a great alternative to using buckets, and many of you that watch my channel probably already know about this product, but I'm doing this video only because I know that when I started out in the hobby, I had no idea that this even existed. And it's actually my favorite aquarium product ever. It's the best thing I've ever bought. And I know I said this in a video just recently, but I honestly don't think that I would still be keeping fish if I hadn't found this thing, or if this thing didn't exist, because it's so much better than buckets. So if you're still using buckets, please check this out. This is pretty fantastic. So there's basically, this end attaches to your sink. Right up here, you basically take off the little metal filter part on your sink. Most sinks it screws off. If you have a sink where it doesn't screw off, I'm not really sure if you can use this. There may be a workaround for that, but I don't know what that is, if there is one. If you know of one, for people who don't have a sink where that little silver part unscrews, please comment below and let us know what that workaround is. But so if you have a sink where the little filter thing unscrews, this basically just screws right into it. And then it's attached to your sink, and what happens is you run your tap, and if you have this little switched one way, the tap water is going to come out the bottom, and it's going to create suction in this tube, so that you can then use this tubing and the gravel vac attachment to vacuum your gravel and take the water out of your tank. So it basically works just like a siphon, but it's using water pressure from your tap to create that suction instead of the siphon and buckets. God, I'm really thirsty right now. I need to take a water break. So this is used basically to suck the water out of your tank, and it goes directly into your sink, so there's no buckets involved, which is really fantastic. And then when you're ready to fill up the tank, all you do is switch the knob the other way, turn on your tap, and you want to make sure obviously you're matching your tap temperature to the tank temperature and your pH as well. But you just turn this knob and the water is directed through the tubing and into your tank. Alright, so people who are new to the water changer often have concerns about the fact that you're putting chlorinated water directly into your tank. People who are used to using buckets usually dose each bucket individually so that they're putting dechlorinated water directly into the tank, whereas with this, it's coming straight out of the tap, so you can't, obviously, how can you dechlorinate it right there? So the workaround for this is basically what you're going to do is dose the entire tank volume, regardless of how much water you're changing. You're going to dose the entire tank volume in water conditioner right before you start filling up the tank with the water changer. So, and I've been doing this for a long time, several years now, and I've never had an issue. This is standard practice for anybody using a water changer, so I really, don't worry about it. It works just fine. All you have to do is dose the whole tank volume. So some of you who have an Aqueon water changer might be looking at my gravel vac attachment and saying, that is not a Aqueon water changer gravel vac attachment, and it's not. So here's a little possible tip for you guys. I actually didn't buy the full Aqueon water changer kit. This is actually my old buckets and siphon gravel vac attachment. It just happened to fit this tubing perfectly. So what I did was I just bought this part. You can buy these individually, so you know, I've owned this thing for I think 3 years now, and I haven't had any issues with parts breaking. I know that people do report issues with parts breaking. It is plastic, so it is possible for parts to, you know, the threading to get worn down over time, or something to crack or something like that. I haven't had any issues personally, but it can happen. So they do sell replacement parts. So you can buy a lot of these parts individually. So what I did was I literally just bought this part. And I think, I don't know, this was an Aqueon one thing too. I don't know if I bought this specifically or if it came with this, but I just bought this part, and it's cheaper to just buy this without all the tubing. I can't remember how much it is. I didn't look it up before I started this video, but you can take a look online. But so basically what you do, you can just buy this part, and then you can go to the hardware store and get some tubing that fits it. And it's a lot cheaper to buy the tubing from a hardware store than, you know, Aqueon sells it with the kit. And this is especially good, and you know, the tubing just fits right on here. You can just take this part with you to the hardware store so you can make sure your tubing fits. But it's especially helpful if you have a longer way to from your tap to your tank. So if you need more tubing, so Aqueon sells these in, I think, 25 and 50 foot lengths, and I think I'm using about 50 feet. So it's cheaper to just buy the tubing, especially if you have a lot of length to cover, and then just use this. And then if you're lucky enough and have a gravel vac attachment from your old siphon that fits, then that works. You could also possibly buy a siphon. I'm not sure what the cost, you would have to look and see if the cost is, you know, worth it to kind of piece together your own rig versus buying the whole thing together. But for me, it was cheaper to buy these pieces individually. So, and then this part that I showed you, they do have a connector where you can connect some tubing. So if you have two lengths of tubing and you need to connect them, and I'm sure you can get this sort of part at a hardware store too. So yeah. Okay, so that's just a quick tip for that. So yeah, I love my Aqueon water changer. There are different brands. There's a Python water changer. There's a Lee's Ultimate Gravel Vac or something like that. That's also a water changer. There may be others, I don't know, but those are the 3 main ones I know about. So if you haven't gotten yourself a water changer, please go check it out. They're fantastic. I highly recommend. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful to someone. I hope there's someone out there that didn't know about this maybe, and this is awesome news for them. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.